Alright guys, what we got here is a 2005 Vulcan Classic 800. This was a trade-in. This is a one-owner bike. Check out the walk-around video for specifics on the condition. It's in great shape. It's got a few nicks and scratches here and there. This was a one-owner bike. The guy traded in for a bigger bike. He loved the Vulcan, so he bought a bigger Vulcan 1600. This bike's great shape. It's a good-looking bike. Great mid-level to entry-level bike for a bigger guy. Let's take it for a spin. Now, a lot of times there's you might be a bigger fella and you want to learn how to ride bikes. You want to get into it, but you don't want to get some tiny little, the average entry-level bike. You don't want to get some little rebel. But something like this is gonna, it's gonna be a good size. It's not a heavy bike. You can definitely throw around the weight. And I think this is a better option for most adults getting into a bike. Excuse me. You're also not gonna outgrow it. The guy had this, he was a big guy, and he had this thing since '05, so he had it for 10 years, put 15,000 miles on it. Really enjoyed it, was commuting with it a lot, but he just, he wanted something bigger to ride double. So, I mean, for the average person doing the average riding, this bike's gonna do everything you need it to. It's an 800cc. It's got good power. It's no rocket, but it doesn't feel slow. It doesn't feel like a normal entry level bike. It's not an entry level bike. It's more of a mid-range bike. But if you're a big guy, it could be an entry level bike for you. Runs real smooth. It is carbureted, and I only have to have it on choke for about 5 seconds before I take it off, which is a good sign that the carburetors are tuned and synced properly. This bike feels nice and light because it is nice and light. And it's like the color is like a fire engine red too. It's got like that cool gold pinstripe. It's kind of cool looking. This bike runs very well. It was maintained very well. I would put this bike in the class of maybe like a 750 Shadow. Would be in the same class. Maybe the Boulevard C and M50, which is also an 800cc, would be in the same class. This is just the Kawasaki version of it. But when it comes to bang for your buck, you can't be. It's hard to get a better bike cheaper than this price. This one's going to be somewhere around 2,400 bucks, 2,500 bucks, and you're not going to be able to beat that. The Boulevards are going to be more. You can't. It's hard to touch a Shadow for that kind of price unless it's really old. Ooh. So bang for your buck, guys. This bike is this bike's gonna be a lot of fun. Nothing worse than getting stuck behind a car. Guys, I ship these bikes all over the country. Probably about 40% of the bikes I sell go out of state. And every single person who has bought a bike from me said that they all said the same thing. This bike was exactly as you described it. I try to nitpick these things. I want to give you guys 100% confidence when you're buying a bike from me. My eBay score is 100%, and it's going to stay that way because I'm not trying to hide anything. Everybody, if it's got a scratch, if there's something wrong with it, I'm going to let you know. Last thing I want to do is try to deceive anybody. bike, I mean, it's got some power. It accelerates pretty good. That windshield's nice, but because I'm wearing a helmet, it's just hitting the top of my helmet. And just, you know, I'm hitting some turbulence on the top of my helmet, which kind of annoys me, but a lot of guys that wear windshields don't wear helmets. I would recommend wearing a helmet. You gotta wear a helmet, guys. I just almost sold a bike to a guy who came in and he just wrecked the bike, just like the one I was gonna sell to him. And he wasn't wearing a helmet. He had road rash on his head. I'm not joking. I mean, the guy lived. By the grace of God, the guy lived. God's looking out for that guy. But road rash on his head. Wear a helmet, guys. Your head was not meant for that kind of impact. And helmets look cool. And if you're skipping school or skipping work, no one really knows who you are, because you're wearing a helmet. I'm just dying to jump this thing and go ripping through that field. One of these days. One of these days. It's a real fun bike. I like where the rear brake pedal is located. A lot of these bikes, you gotta like lift your foot up to get on the rear brake, which drives me nuts. This is actually pretty comfortable. I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a V-twin. And it's pretty smooth. Hi guys. If you guys come to my shop to buy a bike, pick up a bike, and you come down for a bike, you might be turning on Sun Hill Road right there. And this bike's gonna be for sale. Clean title, like all my bikes. This bike will sell fast. They all sell fast. Over the past 4 months, the average bike I have lasts 9 days. So if you're calling and you're indecisive and you're like, I'll make a decision tomorrow, and I have this happen all the time. The guy calls me the next day, he's like, I want that bike. I'm like, you saw that bike sold yesterday. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, I told you. I'm like, I sell bikes really, really fast. I'll get another one in if you want something, but